What would be the ideal attitude then? Like, I get that inherently. I figure like most of the people on this are probably familiar with Sandler and stuff, that we have that 70-30 rule. The buyer should be talking the majority of the time, not
That's
us.
right.
We want to be asking great questions, not telling. And people don't argue with their own data. That's one of
Right.
our favorite new Sandler rules, which is like, we need to get them to tell us why our solution works in their world, not us saying, oh, look, we've done all this data and analysis and we know we're going to save you, these hours per week or whatever, and start trying to justify it. We need them to give us that data. But I feel like there's also some other attitudes that you need to take if you're selling SaaS. What comes to mind for you?
Yeah, just the idea that, well, I guess I can frame this up in a story, Mike. Like I used to work at a local tech startup. And so I noticed that our sales actually went down after the product got to a point where we could show it and demo it. So you'll never guess what the majority of those calls became, which is, oh, I can show you how this works. So the attitude that what I need to qualify is the person. I need to qualify the prospect, not the technology or not the technological fit.
So tell me more about that, because I think that's interesting. When we think about qualification at Sandler, that's pain, budget, and decision. Right. In SaaS, it ends up being things like, does it integrate with their tech stack?
Yeah.
Are they an Apple or a PC, house or whatever? And do they have iPhones or Androids? Not, do they have a problem we could solve? Right.
Exactly. Well, it transitioned really quickly. So here's the trap and how the listener, the salesperson might get into it. So the 70-30 rule can sometimes, go unbroken throughout an entire call. But here's the sort of underpinnings of what happens, right? So I start to ask some questions. I'm qualifying you, and I get some surface level pain, which might be something. And for a lot of SaaS solutions, they're out there because they make somebody's life at work easier. And so somebody might be telling you, for example, well, I spend a lot of time, like, to do this analysis, to get these results, to understand my data, to solve this problem, I have to do it myself. And so we hear that pain indicator, and we don't go far enough down the pain funnel to find out how long they've been doing it. And we just bail on the pain train super early. And we jump out, and we start to qualify not the person, but we start to qualify the platform. Meaning, okay, good. Can you tell me how your current manual process works? Well, what I do is I send, an email out to my 15 different offices, and for them to do this audit or for them to input this information, they fill out a Google form, and then I get all those responses back, and then I go through in my spreadsheet and I do my magic, and then later there's a result, right? So now I've told you and so now I've started thinking about how I can solve that problem, but I'm in a completely intellectual place. I am like, I am just talking about the ones and zeros, about how the technology can solve the problem itself, not how I can solve the problem that the person has. And so you get stuck, because now I'm using my platform to do the qualification for me, because I'm afraid that later on there's going to be something that trips this deal up technically that I'm worried about.